Cassian, I brought what you told me. Cassian. Casa.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Ways of the Sith. Thank you for taking time to check out the channel. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Ways of the Sith. Today, we're going to get into the Hasbro Pulsecon exclusive Star Wars Andor 2-pack with B2-EMO and Andor. So let's check it out. All right, so here's a look at the box set. As you can see, it's got some artwork into the black of B2-EMO and Andor from, I believe, the first episode. Here's a look at the side and the Andor packaging. I'm not sure if they're going to use this same exact artwork. I wouldn't be surprised for the single Andor release, because essentially it is the same figure. Here is a look at the Andor, and that box totally slides out of the sleeve. Total plastic-free packaging, but I do like the fact, I like this a lot better than what they're going to be giving us once the Black Series totally switches over. And here on this side is a look at the B2-EMO artwork, as you can see, and a look at B2. Now, obviously this set was, I believe, $55, so essentially they charged you $30 just for B2-EMO. And to me, you could easily pack this droid in with Cassian for a regular price, or maybe just a deluxe price. Is it worth $55? Absolutely not. All right, so originally I had no plans on picking up this pack, but when I saw the really disappointing panel from the Star Wars team, I decided like there was really nothing else I was pre-ordering outside of Wicket, so I figured let me pick this up. I did not expect it to be in stock that day and ship out the next. That kind of caught me by surprise, especially with all the other pre-orders that started to ship out from Amazon with G.I. Joe Classifieds and Marvel Legends. So it was quite a shock to me that they took that payment right away, but it was cool to actually get this in hand. Shockingly, I'm still waiting on the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive with the Jon Favreau from Mandalorian. That still has yet to come. I believe that's supposed to start shipping out next month, so hopefully that'll be on its way, but stay tuned for a review of that. In my mind, I kind of knew they were never going to release another B2-EMO. They did this same kind of set for Cad Bane originally. Cad Bane got re-released, but Toto, unfortunately, has never been re-released. And he's a droid that I would absolutely love to have. So I didn't want to have that same experience with B2. In case they never release him again, I have him. Did I overpay for it? Absolutely. Is this price outrageously expensive? Absolutely. It's one of those things that you started to come to expect with the Black Series team, and that they're going to price gouge and get you for everything they possibly can. But in my mind, like I said, I'm not going to be pre-ordering anything else once they switch to the windowless packaging. I'm stopping pretty much a lot of my pickups of completing like full waves and full lines once they change out. It'll just be certain characters that I don't have, or maybe an upgrade of something that I need. Otherwise, you know, it's going to be few and far between with Black Series going forward. All right, so I'm going to cut these off their cards because they're attached by like twine. So I'm going to do that off camera and come back and we'll take a look at the figures. All right, so that was actually a lot more of a pain in the ass than I thought. So this is all tied in with twine, and basically the only way to get it out without like opening the package, you know, like this whole package, is just to cut it out. But obviously you can see it's really hard to keep it kind of minty to where you could just put it back in. But this is the downside again of this plastic-free package. Here's a look at Cassian and B2 out of the package. As you can see, B2 is extremely small. There is absolutely no reason they could not pack this droid in with the Cassian Andor. Absolutely no reason. When you look at this, they were talking about the points of articulation on the droid and how, you know, it can expand and close up, and it's on like a 3-tier level system with the head and then like the middle piece and then the bottom. But the one thing I did notice right off the bat is these wheels on the bottom, they're just sculpted. So it's just a solid piece of plastic instead of giving you wheels that could actually move like Chopper and R2 have. That's definitely a huge disappointment. Also, I feel like this droid should be able to twist and turn like almost like a Rubik's Cube, and he doesn't, because that's what he does in the show, but they didn't engineer this to do that. So yeah, this droid's not worth the $30. If you're gonna buy this set just for this droid, I'd suggest probably 3D printing it. I believe there's models online that actually make it fully articulatable and have movable wheels. So yeah, that's a huge disappointment and a huge L by Hasbro. And here's a look at the Cassian Andor figure, and it definitely is a huge upgrade from the Rogue One figure. I have that here, so I will be able to compare them side by side. But the likeness to Diego Luna, the longer hair sculpt, they also started to adapt what appears to be similar to G.I. Joe and Marvel Legends, where this hair piece is like a full overlay on top of the head, which is kind of cool. He does come with that Kyle Katarn blaster, which is really awesome. And he looks good. Like, he looks really accurate to the show. This jacket seems to be a different material for it being plastic. It seems like very pliable. I did know that they were supposed to be trying something new out for some of these overlays and stuff like that, which is really cool. I really do like this figure and think it looks awesome. Here's a look at the two Cassian side by side, and you can really notice the difference on this. Like, if you take an up close look at both of the face sculpts, this figure is way superior in comparison. It's not even, it's really horrible now when you look at this figure and see how bad the likeness is. Now, once they do a single release, I might have to pick up another one of these just so I can head swap it onto this body, because this looks really bad to me now. But they do look cool side by side. Obviously, since this figure was made, the Black Series has really changed a lot as far as their aesthetic and the style of the figure. So it's really night and day between the two of them. So I would highly recommend picking up the Andor. Like I said, if you feel you don't need the B2-EMO, I wouldn't break the bank. Just wait for the single carded Andor to come out and either use it to upgrade the one you have or stick with this one, because it's pretty cool. And here's a quick look at Cassian with his droid buddies K2SO and B2-EMO. I'm wondering, I know there's a lot of fan theories and speculation as to if B2-EMO is going to be the droid consciousness that's inputted into K2. I kind of have a feeling it's going to be Luthen's ship. His ship AI, if you notice, Luthen's ship is the same ship Cassian's flying in Rogue One. So, in my opinion, that ship AI that's missing, I think is what's plugged into K2 and makes up, you know, his data bank and his personality, which would be really cool for the show. Now, one huge drawback I did notice about this is there's no holster or anything for him to put the gun in. So you get this cool blaster, but nothing for him to store the gun anywhere on him, which is a huge disappointment. And last but not least, here's a look at Cassian with Jyn, and they look 10 times better together. I think this upgraded Cassian sculpt actually makes this Jyn Erso sculpt look better than it actually is. She's another figure that eventually we're gonna need like a proper sculpt of her done, but until then, I'm cool with this. This works. They look great side by side, and chances are this Andor will be replacing the other Andor that's on my shelf, and I'll just combine the Rogue One stuff and the Cassian Andor stuff all into one shelf. Well, that'll do it for today. Thank you guys so much for taking time to check this out. Like I said, I would highly recommend the Andor, but if you're not crazy about the B2, I would just skip this 2-pack, wait for the single carded Andor to come out, maybe even get that single carded Andor on clearance like the previous one went to. I'm not 100% sure. I know there's people that love this show, and I know there's people that don't. So, like anything Star Wars, it's always divisive going forward. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Trying to get to 100 subscribers. This way we could change the URL and get more people to see the channel. I really appreciate you guys checking this out. And as always, may the force be with you.